Welcome, everybody. I'm Keith from Keith's Comics. Cindy's with me.
I'm here.
And we're going to try to sell you some stuff. Now that I've unmuted the microphone. Oh, it was only 3 minutes. Whatever. We'll edit that out. Hey, Kaylin, take care of that in post, please. All right. A good thing I have the comments on over there. So if you're just now joining the show, you don't need to go back to the first 3 minutes or so. I didn't say anything with it. Checking out. But we're going to be, if you have a want list, send it to warehousehunter@keithsneakstuff.com. And, thank you. Very kind, Sam, but the audio is not back, but Sparky here forgot to unmute the microphone. Check out our YouTube page, our Facebook page, and Instagram. And I believe that Keelan says we even have a Pinterest page for I don't know what we do over there, but we have one, dadgummit, and we have an X that we're eventually going to get to, start doing stuff to. Also, we'll put up comics one at a time. If you are interested in it, make sure you're on the Keith's Comics Network Facebook page that you can type in claim the title of the book and the issue number. Facebook is the official timekeeper here. So if you see something, get in there right away. Spelling is not so important. Timing is. If you see somebody claim something, go ahead and claim it also. Sometimes people get premature claimination, or they forget they own something. Or, dadgummit, that's just not the copy for them. Who knows? All right. Now that everybody can hear me, correct? Yeah. All right. Everybody can hear me. All right. Cindy, go find the fake Kelsey Grammer and let's get the thing going.
Let's get this pig.
There you go.
Keith's Comics.
All right, so make sure that if you have claimed something from a previous show, we have about 3 people who've claimed stuff in previous shows, and we've sent them emails with a link to how to pay for their items so that we can get it sent out to them, but we haven't heard back from them. If you're one of those people, go check your email, because there's something waiting for you there. Keith's Comics Channel at gmail.com. Make sure that hasn't fallen through to the spam filter. And you can always go to keithscomics.com and click through to our Shopify store and see the 8 or 10 really oddball, cool books that we put up there today. If you're a big fan of John Wayne, well, we got you hooked up. And then some other really cool stuff. Remember to type claim into the Keith's Comics Network Facebook page. You can watch it on any of our other places, but not so much are you going to win. Hey, Alan Irby's here. All right, good. A nice little group here. Cindy, are you ready to go over there?
I am.
All right. First up is a conditional offering, Ghostly Tales. Number 132. It's going to be late 1970s, early 1980s. It's a conditional offering because somebody who's been buying a lot of these Charlton Comics groups. This was a pretty solid publisher in the 70s and 80s. He did, what we would call off-brand horror and sci-fi and superheroes. They eventually closed down their shop and sold their superheroes inventory to DC Comics. And that's where you get the Blue Beetle and your Captain Atom and about 10 or 12 other characters that all came across. The Question, all that kind of stuff. Steve Ditko does work in a lot of these books, including, I believe, this book. Whoever's buying this has a conditionally, but you can also claim it in case they already have this issue, for example. This will be $8 if it flows through to the stores. This VG Plus copy is only $6 if you type claim into the comment section of Keith's Comics Dinner. Well, all right. Sam's claiming. I don't know what he's claimed, but there you go. We do whenever we run the winners here, we run it through a bot, and if you have typed claim in there, it pulls that. So we'll just let you know, no premature claimination, please. What's that? Oh, wow. Hip replacement surgery. Dadgummit. Well, I hope that you're feeling better and getting up and on the tennis court shortly, or golf course, or basketball court, or mountain climbing, whatever it is you want to do. Next up, Wonder Woman from 1982. This is a Frank Miller cover. I didn't realize that until I was working it. It is a VG copy. They claim this is a bondage cover. I don't know if you can have a bondage cover of a skeleton. And Wonder Woman looks like she's a little worse for wear there with a giant sword right through her chest. Ouch! From 1982, this is issue number 298. It's also a Mark Jewelers variant. So this is a conditional offering. You can claim it for $11. It would be $8 in store usually, but the premium of a Mark Jewelers variant bumps it up just a little bit. $11 for this Wonder Woman number 298, Mark Jewelers variant. Next up,
Last conditional.
the last conditional for tonight.
Yeah.
Hulk number 245, also a Mark Jewelers variant. Solid VG copy would be $6 in store. This 1980 issue featuring the TV's fandom's favorite Hulk, the Incredible Hulk 245, $9 if you claim it here tonight. Incredible Hulk number 245. Next up.
We haven't seen one of these in a while.
Uh-oh, what could it be?
It's a twofer.
It's a twofer. That means 2 consecutive issues for $6. So this is, really, really pretty copies of Superman numbers. What numbers are those?
They are 377 and 378.
377 and 378. That 377 has a beautiful Gil Kane cover on it. So 2 consecutive issues of Superman, only $6. This is, I don't know the year on that. Does it say anywhere on there? It's got to be early 80s, I would think. I'm not sure. But anyway, still really nice. Superman. Next up. Buckaroo Banzai. I wonder if Big Booty is inside of there.
Oops. I picked up 2 instead of 1.
This is both issues of the Marvel Comics adaptation of the Buckaroo Banzai movie. Look at that. Was it Penny Bright? Was that her name? I can't remember.
Penny.
Pretty Penny, yeah, that's right. From 1985. This is issues 1 and 2. Beautiful VF copies. $20 in store. $17 if you claim it here in the show. Buckaroo Banzai, issue 1 and 2. The complete story of the movie in one set. Right. No one ever drowns in the Gil Kane universe because they always have that nose turned up. The Amazing Spider-Man, issue 231. Oh, this is a creepy cover for me. I forget that villain. That's Cobra, right?
Yeah, it says, when Cobra comes a-callin'.
And Cobra comes a-callin'. $8 for this solid VG copy. Nice little moonlight action there. $6 if you claim it here to know. Amazing Spider-Man or just Spider-Man. $231, $6. Next up. Some old-timey stuff with the go-go checks at the top. See, that's the black and white checkerboards, as we call it, go-go checks. Adventure Comics featuring the Legion of Superheroes. The Forgotten Legion. Oh, no, I forgot about the Forgotten Legion. Issue 351 of Adventure Comics from 1966. This has always freaked me out. I mean, okay, first of all, you got Colossal Boy. I love the retrocon of that they do like 40 years later. We say, he's not really Colossal Boy. Everybody on his planet is a giant. He always shrinks down. Oh, I thought it was a nice little bit. But this is in the background there where Superboy is delivering letters there. That's the Legion clubhouse, and I don't remember any bits about that, but it seems awful small to be able to put in the
Legion. Like a TARDIS, we don't know.
It could be. It would have to be, because it looks like the part of a rocket that got sawed off, and then you're putting 15 or 20 people in there. Maybe there's a whole bunch of underground. I don't know. From 1966, this issue of Adventure Comics is a solid VG copy. $8 if you claim it. Adventure Comics 351. $8. Next up.
Colossal Boy has to fit in there.
Yeah, he barely fits in there.
He's almost as tall as it. My favorite.
Where Monsters Dwell. This is a really pretty VF copy. Look at the red colors on that. It reprints the first appearance of Fin Fang Foom. And look, Cindy, he's wearing pants.
He is wearing pants, but they're not purple.
Well, purple pants, that's Tuesday. This is Thursday. Where Monsters Dwell is a great reprint of early 1950s Marvel comics when they were still, they weren't timely at that point. They were still, Marvel Comics Group, but they weren't called Marvel Comics just yet. Where Monsters Dwell from 1973. Wow, $35. Fin Fang Foom, a fan favorite. Wow, did I just really alliterate like Stan Lee there? Fin Fang Foom is a fan favorite. $30 if you claim it here tonight. VF copy. Really sharp. Where Monsters Dwell. Next up. More monsters, and this time we got some Gil Kane action rolling here. What did I write in there? Ditko?
2 Ditko. Second Ditko?
Oh, 2 Ditko stories inside here.
Oh,
That's
2 Ditko stories.
That's nice. So those are going to be mid-1950s Ditko stories, too. Pre-Spider-Man stories. Where Monsters Dwell, number 17 from 1972. Using that the device. And Marvel in like 71 through 73 did this framing device on a whole lot of their comics. I don't know. I don't think is this right after Romita was in charge of all the covers and somebody wanted to make their mark on it, making all these framed devices here. $6 though for this nice VG copy featuring the hidden vampires. Next up, Weird Romance. This is an interesting book from, I want to say, late 80s, early 90s. It was actually a title called Seduction of the Innocent, in which they reprinted a lot of books from the 50s and late 40s that Wortham used for his book. Not all the exact stories, but many of them that were in public domain, to prove that the comics were making kids juvenile delinquents, and they were bad for them. You know, couldn't be run around in the streets like street urchins or anything like that. No, but this is some of the weird romance stories with an all-new Brent Anderson cover here. This is a really cool reprint of 40s and 50s oddball stuff that had fallen in the public domain. $9 for this really cool book. It's Seduction of the Innocent #9, but they rebranded it Weird Romance #1. $12 in store, $9 if you claim it here tonight. Next up, supernatural thrillers, all things scary in the early 70s. Marvel was staking out the territory. Once you see all these books together, it all makes a lot more sense. Marvel was doing a lot of these monster reprints, and then they were doing a lot of new books like Chambers of Darkness. And they had this whole magazine line with Dracula and Dracula Lives. Lots of scary stuff going on. I guess that was also the time of the Hammer films going on there. The Godzilla movies were coming back through. And here we go. Marvel was also claiming a lot of territory by doing adaptations of like the Invisible Man. They had the Werewolf by Night, and here they tried a lot of different concepts, including this one, The Living Mummy. Oh, supernatural thrillers featuring The Living Mummy. Issue number 8 of Supernatural Thrillers, this VG copy, $10 for you here tonight, $12 if it gets out to the store. Next up, a newer book from 1996. I say newer. What is that, 25 years old now at this point?
1996, yeah.
Wow. World's Finest 3. It's was it a 2-part or a 3-part series? I don't remember which one.
It says 2 of 2.
2 of 2.
So I'm going to guess it's 2.
In which that version of Superboy, which spun out of the death of Superman, somebody help me out here. Alan, is that Tim Drake Robin being there? I can't tell which Robin it is. But they did both of these are prestige formats. Issues 1 and 2, the complete story from 1996. $20 in store, $15 if you claim it here tonight. This World Finest 2, WF3 if you will. Superboy and Robin teaming up, fighting a giant clock tower. Or no, maybe not, but somebody else. But I think that Poison Ivy's and a big player in this book. So if you got somebody in your life that's a Poison Ivy fan, maybe you should hook them up with this book. Next up. Who was it that went to the Kiss concert last week, and how was it?
The Brothers Angeletta?
Was it one of the Brothers Angeletta?
It was both or one.
Oh, thanks, Alan. Tim Drake, time frame for sure. Appreciate that. Whoever went to the Kiss concert, how was it? And here you go. You're living some memories. This is the Venn diagram of all things from that time period. This is Kiss #1, the subscription variant. This company IDW did it for a while. Said you could order 2 different covers, but this one you had to promise to your subscriptions. Oh, this is Kiss Kids. And then who did the cover on that? That's famous. Tim. Bruce Timm did the cover of this, I believe. So there you go. Your Batman animated crossover with your Kiss Kids. Who thought you needed that? Well, now you know that you did. #1 subscription copy, $10 in store, $8 if you claim it here tonight. And there's the demon, because that's what you always want around your kids, right? Well, there you go. The Kiss demon for sure. $8. Next up. Oh, great. I believe this is a Neil Adams cover, right? Issue 253 of the House of Mystery. More early 1970s horror stuff. You know, Marvel wasn't going to DC wasn't just going to let Marvel run away with all that horror stuff. They're saying like, hey man, we helped create this genre. The House of Mystery, Beware the Demon Child. From 1977, this fine, maybe a fine minus. Maybe there might be too many ticks in it, though. Still a cool copy. I don't know what she's so scared about. I'm going to have to read this book to find out what is on that baby's face.
Demon Child.
Was it, I mean, is it like have fangs or something?
No, it's demon.
Demon? Okay. Does he rhyme? From 1977, The House of Mystery, number 253. $12 in store, $9 if you claim it tonight. That is definitely a Bruce Timm jawline for sure. The other half of the Angeletta says the Kiss concert was great. That's good news. All right. I don't know that it'd be worth it. I gave you a note to go to it, but now that the Rangers have won the World Series, I don't know if it was it an even trade? Was it worth it? I guess maybe if you got to see them win last night, it was probably worth it. Next up. From 1995. This is the time period. Was this Batman 3 or Batman 2? When probably the issue where Jim Carrey was the Riddler. So they, never going to lose an opportunity here. Batman Riddler from 1995, nice VF copy featuring Matt Wagner's scripts. $10 in store, $7 you can get your Riddler on. $7. Next up. Showcase. This was a DC tryout book for many years. They tried all kinds of cool stuff. Superheroes, spy, war. This in the mid-1960s. I guess what was going on at this time? All kinds of beatnik stuff. The Beatles were huge. The British invasion was happening. The Monkees were a big-time show. DC said, hey, let's get in on that. We'll create our own. And they were called the Maniacs. This is the first appearance of the Maniacs. And I don't know that they ever did anything with it. Seems like the kind of thing that Warren Ellis or Garth Ennis would pick up later on, or even Alan Moore, and use these in some kind of twisted way many years later. Issue number 68 of Showcase from 1967. A really solid VG Plus copy, $20 in store. $15 if you claim it here. Showcase number 68. Next up.
Swag Time.
Swag Time. Swag Time is stuff we acquire growing. When I buy collections, sometimes I buy a house, I buy the back of a pickup truck, and I end up with lots of other oddball stuff. I say, just throw it all in there. We'll sort it out. So what do we got in the swag appeal this time?
First up,
some paperback books. All right. We got some Star Trek. What is that?
Search of Spock, which was the third movie with the original cast, the original cast. And then the motion picture, which is with V'ger. That was the one I went to go see with my nephew. And then the creation of King Kong, which is the newer version of the movie King Kong.
Right. And I think these are all various editions of that. But we think the creation of the King Kong paperback there is a first printing. And also the Search for Spock, we believe, is a first printing.
Right.
First paperback edition.
Because we're not paperback aficionados.
Right. Maybe you're a hardcore paperback aficionado. And I'm not sure that these were ever released in hardcovers or if these were originally released someplace else. But there we go. So $4 each if you are a big-time paperback book fan. Maybe this is something you need for your collection. Next up, Thor, Invasion, what is that?
Let's see. What is he? Thor, the Mighty Avenger. He's an ice giant, right? Yeah.
You should say Invasion Ice Giant on it somewhere.
Oh, it probably says it underneath the tag. Yes, Invasion Frost Giant.
Oh, Frost Giant. I'm sorry. Not an ice giant. That's a different cat. All right, sorry. From 2010 movie, if you're playing D&D or somebody who's putting together a big diorama, you're going to need multiple Frost Giants.
He's got a helmet and a little ice mallet. It's
right.
Pretty cool.
When I went to do the research on these, they were surprisingly holding up their value. Originally, we had this on the shelves at $14, but now $6. You need, if you have a big D&D game going on, you turn the corner and you're going to need a Frost Giant.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Or you can call him an ice giant if you so choose.
Well, who's to say? Next up.
All right, we got a few socks in here.
Oh, yeah, some stuff for your feet. Some Flash socks. Does that just have the Batman label on there? $2?
Yeah, they have a shield label on the Batman.
One time we bought a
with
bunch of
shield
seconds.
label on the Superman.
We got a great deal on a bunch of socks once before because they had accidentally put the wrong labels on the box. The socks are fine, but they had put the wrong
They are
tops on.
not huge socks.
Yeah, these are mostly for like teens or preteens or
stocking stuffers.
make it great stocking stuffers. Are actually stockings. They're $2 a set. Set being 2 socks. Is that right? Because we only have 2 feet. I'm not sure. What's that last one? What is that
That's
last?
R2D2 upside down, but I couldn't get it to stand up. So
Oh, I see R2. I
there
see.
he is. Stylized R2D2.
Stylized
Very
R2D2.
cute.
All right, so we got some socks. Socks for $2 a pair. Flash, Batman, Superman, and R2D2. That's the new Justice League that's coming up.
I'm not sure if you can see this. Can you see this?
Let's see what we can see here.
I can turn it to the side. It's got some just nice.
We gotta go put it up regular on there.
Okay, hold on.
Somehow this got shuttled around, or we didn't put it display it well. No, that's close enough. This is the 2022 calendar. Where you say, it's 2023, almost 2024. Keith, what am I going to do with that? Well, and then they make great posters, and these are all Alex Ross posters of these female characters. Are the heroes.
Heroes.
Heroes. I always.
Yeah, it's horror.
Yeah, it's a 16-month calendar, but what's more important is you get all these cool images done by Alex Ross. Originally $18 in store, still sealed in its original plastics. Only $6 for this cool Alex Ross book.
Make a collage.
Hey, hang on, just I'm going to tell Cindy something. Let me pause. Just, please hold. All right, I'm back. Next up.
All right. Well, that's it for swag for right
Swag
now.
is done for tonight, and Pablo wasn't even here to claim some socks.
Or sleep. No, that's right. He didn't sleep during this time exactly.
Right, well, throw some book up there I can talk about while we're...
Okay.
Creation of King Kong. That was a big deal for you that are not super old like me. You probably don't remember. Oh, look. Marvel Super Special. Blade Runner. The comic adaptation of the movie, which did you... I guess this... You know what? I'm not going to say that because I don't know this for sure. I don't know if this came out first, but I know that it came out in comic form also. I don't know if this is something they did for the movie theaters or for the newsstands. Marvel Super Special number 22, Blade Runner, the movie. With this kind of price, I'm thinking it might have come out first. $60, this beautiful VF copy of Marvel Super Special. You can learn all about the replicants and replicants. I can't remember what was going on there. Yeah, all right. Yeah, the only good thing about the Rangers being done besides the World Championship is that I do not have to sit through another little baby KK commercial. And much as I love Ken Griffey Jr., I'm done with Ken Griffey Jr. Next up.
All right.
I'll have to look and see who the artist is on that. It might be Bill Sienkiewicz. All right, this is a cool book from, you can't really see all of it, so you just have to take my word for it. It's a big, oversized poster book, but it's a poster book con el arte de Alex Ross. It's the Mexican edition of the Marvel's Alex Ross poster book.
But all the words inside are not. They are English.
Are you sure?
I just looked.
Are you double sure?
Let's just take a look, shall we?
Well, yeah, anything that was printed, if it's a page of original art.
Right, I don't.
But have you some descriptions on the inside pages, on the backs of stuff and stuff like
I
that?
don't see any of that, except for maybe on the first.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Still beautiful Marvel's Alex Ross book. How'd this turn into an Alex Ross show all of a sudden? Anyway, what's the price on that?
I don't know. It was in the front. It is.
Okay, we had that for $20 in store, $10. $10 if you claim the Alex Ross Mexican version of that. Look at that. Alex Ross stuff. Here, I'm going to put $10 on there. Here you go, Sydney.
All right.
I'll price it on the fly.
I don't know what that $2.49 on there is.
That's
What
pesos.
is that? Oh. Ha.
I
So
told
there
you.
you go.
It's the Mexican version.
Ah, and that is all in Spanish there.
Yeah. There you go.
Ta-da!
All right, next up.
What time is it? Oh, you know what time it is?
It's lightning round time. We have $1, $2, and $3 bins in the store, so we have $1, $2, and $3 books for you here. Now, Pablo will probably be taking a nap because he's probably still eating dinner. Forgot that we were going to do a show tonight. We'll show you a whole bunch of books quickly because we want to just crush through some books. I'll talk a little bit about them, very little. Next up is the lightning round, $1, $2, and $3 books.
Starting with $3 books?
$3 books. All right. When I buy collections, I get all kinds of overstreets like this one from, what year is that? 2019, 2020. Looks like it's been barely used, if at all. $3 for this. And you say, what do I need an overstreet for? Well, this 49th edition of the Comic Book Price Guide has some great articles, some great background. It's just a great historical milestone. In having all of them lined up on your bookshelf would be super cool. Next up. Thanks for the... All right, now I got lightning round emojis. That's awesome. House of Secrets. This how much is this? $3?
Yeah, these are all $3 books.
Oh, wow. Look at that. House of Secrets. What number is that, Cindy?
That is number 125.
125. Next up.
Number 7.
Number 7 of Dead of Night. More reprints of Marvel craziness from the 1950s. Next up.
Number 11.
Number 11 of Journey into Mystery. You can see a theme here. We had a horror show, and if you didn't see that, go back and watch that. When was that? Last Friday or Thursday or whenever it was?
26th.
Kind of a base, but then we had a whole bunch of books left over, so that's we're kind of cleaning those up tonight. Journey into Mystery. Stay Dead. Next up.
Number 9.
Number 9 of Captain Marvel. This is the Kree version of Captain Marvel. And we got the Captain Marvel movie. That's next week, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Next Friday, I guess it is. I mean, you get three count on Captain Marvels for the price of one. Next up.
Number 3.
Number 3 of Secrets of Haunted House.
Kind of a
Floating
fun
Hand
one.
Alert. Where's Tom? Next up. The Amazing Spider-Man. We had this book earlier in the show, but this is a much rougher copy. If you need a reader copy, we got you hooked up. $3 for this Amazing Spider-Man. We bought this collection, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. Had good runs of Amazing Spider-Mans, but no keys. But it's this time period that has 2 and 3 and 4 copies of a lot of stuff. It'll be a lot of fun to show those. Next up.
Number 2.
Number 2 of Dark Horse Comics featuring RoboCop. Is that a Mike Mignola cover? Sure does look
like
Sure does look like it. $3 for Dark Horse Comics number 2.
Number 2.
Next up.
232.
Number 232 of Amazing Spider-Man, in which Mr. Hyde looks like he's having a seriously bad day. Oof. Next up.
$2 books.
$2. House of Secrets.
122.
Oh, Floating Hands playing the piano.
There's Floating Hands.
And versus the Devil. This book has it all. Next up.
Number 132.
Number 130 of the 32 of Green Lantern. Oh, it's going to be a lower grade copy, but yeah, we're going to throw in an Adam Strange backup story. That's got to be worth $2, right? Next up.
Issue number 100.
Number 100 of Web of Spider-Man. It's a cool foil cover. Peak shenanigans of the 90s from the Marvel Universe. Giant-sized 100th issue, but it was stored poorly and read a lot, so it is a lot of dings. If you need a reader copy, we got you hooked up. Next up.
And we are on to Double Takes. These are dollar books.
Double Takes. That's 2. A Double Take is in store is 2 comics for 92 cents. So there's 2 ghost story issues. Ooh. For 92 cents. Next up. Excalibur. What numbers are those?
19 and 25.
19 and 25 for 92 cents. Oh my gosh. Good. Put together your Excalibur collection now. Next up.
37 and 39.
37 and 39 of Excalibur for only 92 cents. That's, let me hang on just a second. I got to do some math. Get my abacus out and give me a piece of paper. That's let's carry the 2. That's like less than 50 cents each. Oh my gosh. Next up.
23 and 24.
23 and 24. Almost an instant Excalibur collection here. Next up.
29 and 41.
29 and 41. Oh, I mean, they're all over the place, but still. It's a cool selection.
That's the last of the Double Takes.
That's all of the Double Takes?
Here's the dollar books.
A dollar book. $1 for showcase. We had the really cool showcases from the 60s. They trotted out the idea a couple more times in the 90s. I believe there was a Showcase 92 that ran 12 issues, and then a Showcase 93 that ran 12 issues, and then a Showcase 94 that ran 12 issues. in case he hadn't put that together yet. They were monthly, and they did other concepts. And look at that. This has Katana, Huntress, and Deathstroke. Wow, that's a pretty nice little setup there, isn't it? Were they a team, or is that 3 individual stories? I don't know. Give me $1, you can find out. Next up.
Number 58.
Number 58 of Ghost Stories. Ooh, scary. Next up.
The last book?
Last one for, oh no. Mark Silvestri cover. A very nice. I'm not familiar with this character or what was going on here, but Silvestri, popular artist. Evo, featuring in Endgame. I think it's number 3 and with a Silvestri cover.
It is.
Nice. All right, lightning round is over. Somebody wake Pablo up. Wherever he is, hopefully he's not traveling. Hopefully he didn't fall asleep and he's in a ditch somewhere. I feel really bad for a little while. Next up. Okay, look at this. This is part of that collection I was just telling you about. So this is you have 3 copies of the same book, bought probably at different times. I would guess at 3 different times. Look at the difference in these. Pardon me, just a second. Had a little coconut in there. This is from 1982, issue 233. We have 3 copies, have really great colors on all of them. 2 on the left are newsstand copies. The one on the right is a direct copy, and then various grades. So if maybe you're just a reader kind of guy and you say, the VG is going to work out fine for me, give me that for $6. We have a nice, pretty, fine copy for $10, and then a really striking VF copy for $20. All the same book inside, but in various different configurations and or grades. So if you want Amazing Spider-Man 233 in VG, fine, or VF, make sure you note that in the comments section.
Please do.
What was that? Oh, okay. Well, I'm reading the comments. Sorry about that. For a little while. That's right. Thanks. Thanks. You get me, William. All right. Next up.
I'm going to put these together so it's easier to pull.
More Kiss. All right. So you got me on a Kiss.
Kiss Kids.
Is this Kiss Kids? I don't know what the deal with that is, but it seems to be pretty popular.
Young versions of Kiss.
Is that really Scotty Young doing the cover?
No, I'm just saying it's
okay.
Scotty Young versions. This is Holder or somebody.
Okay.
Caldwell.
Okay. From 2013, Kiss Kids. This is issues 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Whole set.
We had, look at Santa. Nothing says Christmas like Kiss. Hey, Kiss fans out there, does Kiss ever have a Christmas album? Kiss Kids 1 through 4 from 2013, $40 if you claim it here. Next up, Chamber of Darkness, number 1 from 1969. A solid VG copy. This is when Marvel was doing lots of reprints. They also did all new stuff. I guess in the late 60s they were giving that a try out, and they figured out, hey, what the heck. I don't know this for a fact, but the rumor always was that they just they never really paid any of the artists again or writers for the reprints. And then once they got firmly on that path, the original artwork for a lot of this stuff disappeared. And somebody if they can do some research on that, I appreciate that. But that was always the story I got, is that it was really cheap to produce those reprint books. So we'll find out. Chamber of Darkness, number 1 from 1969, $7. Next up.
1, 2, and 3.
This is a Batman The Run, Riddler, Run miniseries. All 3 issues from 1993. $9. $9 for a beautiful VF copy of Run, Riddler, Run. Prestige format miniseries from 1993. Riddler, big player on through the early 90s. I didn't remember that. Next up. You think the Kiss Christmas album is the one thing they didn't do? Oh, well, Opportunity. Chamber of Darkness, number 2. Oh, look at that cover. That's crazy cool. From 1969, $12. These books should be worth a whole lot more. When you look inside of them and see who was working on these books, ridiculous how cheap these books are. VG Plus, $9 for Chamber of Darkness, number 2. Next up, Catwoman Defiant. That's got to be the time of the second Batman movie, right? Look at this, because we get the crashing.
The penguin.
Yeah, you get the crashing of the two zeitgeists here. Foil covers with Catwoman, and look at all that shiny foil cover there, and then the Batman movie, Catwoman Defiant, from 1992, $12, prestige format, one shot, $9 if you claim it here. Next up, what if the Avengers lost the Evolutionary War? Well, there's a high evolutionary, not as you saw him in the Guardians movie, but how he was in the comics for many years. There was this big storyline in the late 80s called the Evolutionary War, and here we are revisiting that just a few years later with what if the Avengers had lost? Yikes! $10 for this beautiful VF copy of the second or third iteration of What If, I don't remember, but from 1989. $7 for this beautiful VF copy. Next up, more Chamber of Darkness, but this is a really, look at that cover. Ooh, from 1969, this issue number 3 features Barry Windsor Smith, wow, story, a John Buscema story, and a Palmer story in here that is so spectacular. Palmer did a lot of inking on Neil Adams, so it looks like a Neil Adams story, and it's an adaptation of an Edgar Allan Poe short story. I forget which one of the Telltale Heart. So if you're a Poe fan, this is probably something that needs to be in your collection. And only $6. Criminal too low. Criminal, take advantage of me while you can. Chamber of Darkness number 3, $6. Next up, more cool Green Lanterns. 129 from 1980. There's Star Sapphire, right? And then two Hal Jordan and Green Lantern. How can that happen? Yikes. Got to figure it out. Give me $8. Beautiful VF copy of this Green Lantern 129 from 1980. Next up. Oh, Black Widow series. There's a new Black Widow series, White Widow actually, started this week. And then a couple years ago, you might have missed during the pandemic, there was a Black Widow miniseries, and they did a variant cover. J. Scott Campbell did a variant cover of this. $10 for this variant cover from Black Widow number 1 from 2020. Or $6 if you claim it here. Hold on just a second. Half the Angela are saying, oh, that's very nice. Oh, there we go. Brotherly love, getting the hook up, taking to a kiss and the fan days. That's awesome. Next up. Hey, we had Catwoman earlier. Penguin triumphant here from 1992 also. John Ostrander doing the writing, Joe Staton doing the artwork chores. $10 in store, $7 if you claim it in tonight's show. Next up, a classic Green Lantern, number 77. I'm hitting you right in the feels, right, Angelettas? Green Lantern, Green Arrow, the hard-traveling heroes. This beautiful VG copy. It just had been read so many times I had to grade it VG. From 1970, $50 still though. For classic Neil Adams. Oh, Denny O'Neil writing, and Neil Adams doing the art chores. $40 if you claim it for this beautiful, solid VG copy in the heart of the war zone. Oh man, what's going to happen? Man, these books were transcendental at the time. Green Lantern was still Green Lantern. This beautiful 15-cent issue from 1970 of $40. Next up, Dark Knight's Metal. A lot of times we see the metals have the metal number 1 covers, but there were also some variants. This is Jim Lee doing the Wonder Woman cover from Dark Knight's Metal number 1 from 2017. Oh my gosh, has it been 6 years? Almost 7 years since Metal came out? Time, it's spinning out of control. From 2017, $7 for the Jim Lee Wonder Woman cover of Dark Knight's Metal. Next up, Chamber of Darkness number 4, a special issue. This has, unbelievably, as I was flipping through this, a Jack Kirby horror story in the beginning, and then we slide into a Barry Windsor Smith Barbarian story predates Conan #1. Is this the book that got him his job? I'm sure there's a story out there about that. From 1969, Chamber of Darkness, and the Monster Man came walking. Only $15. That's crazy. VG Plus copy, only $10 if you claim it here tonight. Next up is Sweet Tooth, more horror. Anybody watch the Sweet Tooth? Is that on Netflix? Cindy, did you watch that?
I did. I started to watch it, and it veered so fast off the track I stopped watching it because I really liked the book.
Isn't that weird?
But I hear a lot of people did really like it. So
Yeah, some people said it was too crazy for them too. I didn't get a chance to peek in on it. Maybe I'll have to do that. But some people really love it. From 2009, this is issue #1 and issue #2, a 2-pack, if you will, except that they're $30. So evidently I'm led to believe that's the first appearance of a character named Big Man. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. So we got the first appearance of Sweet Tooth and Big Man here in
Is that
issue.
Big Man?
I don't know. Don't get me
He's
lying.
like a George C. Scott character. That's for you older people. Reference.
Jeff Lemire's Sweet Tooth 1 and 2, $30. Claim. Next up,
All right, hang on. I gotta move these so they don't get damaged.
I like the way you're thinking about that. Oh, we're going to some slab books now. All right, this CBCS graded 9.8. That's about as minty as you get. I'm sure there are technically some 9.9s and 10.0s, but those are practically unicorns. Mockingbird #2, the Nen Chang 1 in 25 variant cover, $95 in store. It's time for this to find a new home. $65 if you claim it here tonight. Wow, $65. That's practically the cost of having it graded. The 9.8 Nen Chang 1 in 25 ratio variant cover. Yikes.
Now we're at 3.
3? That means tonight's show's almost over? Oh, no. First appearance of Dane Whitman was a big deal before that Eternals movie. Now,
Nobody cares now.
well, that they're just lost right now. Maybe after a couple of years of regrouping, they can get it back on track. Still, the first appearance of Dane Whitman is this VG Plus copy, 4.5, actually graded. 120 is what we put on the store. $80. You claim Avengers #47, CGC graded 4.5. $80 if you claim it here tonight.
2.
2, the first full appearance. Notice how I'm couching all these words. First full color appearance of Hellboy. Because Hellboy evidently first appearance is like a sketch in some Italian fan magazine.
Dime, isn't it? Dime? Was it the cover?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And then appeared in San Diego Comics Magazine #2 or something like that. And then here in Next Men, #21, if you have somebody that is a Mignola fan or a Hellboy fan in your life, hook them up with this. First appearance of Hellboy, you can leave all that other stuff, that preamble out that I told you about. Just tell them it's first appearance of Hellboy. From issue 21 of Next Men, John Byrne's Next Men, the beginning of this was called Legend. Or is it Legend or Legends at the upper left, Cindy?
Legend.
Legend. There was an imprint from Dark Horse in which they gave free reign to John Byrne and
The Easter Island heads.
and Mignola, and I want to say a couple other creators to create stuff, but outside of their regular universes. From 1993, though, $110 in store, $89, which is the year '89. This Keys Comics open.
Let's see if you can see. They have a back cover pinup, they said. So let's see if you can see it. Yeah, there it is.
Oh yeah, nice.
You can display it. It's like a Virgin cover?
I don't know if they do need one thing. Doom. Did you see those articles today about how they're leaking? That I guess that's probably they're probably putting out there to see what the reaction is. They're leaking that there were these emergency meetings about, because Jonathan Majors has so many issues going on, that they were going to substitute Doom into all the storylines that had Kang in them that were going forward, because they had all this stuff scheduled for Kang for the next 4 or 5 years, I think, and then leading up to probably Secret Wars. and now they're just at least there was some discussions about. I don't know where it ended up. Doctor Doom being substituted in for all that stuff. We'll see. Oh, fun fact, Jesus says, Mignola created the legend icon. There you go. That is a fun fact, Jesus. Mm-hmm. Next up.
Final book for tonight.
The final book for tonight.
It's a good one. Hard to get any better.
Yeah, it is. Oof. Iron Man Submariner. So, if you don't know the story goes something like this. In the late 1950s, the publisher of Marvel, through a couple of different things that happened at the same time, lost his distribution rights and all of his spots on the newsstand, and it's kind of complicated. So, and then he decided not to go back into the distribution system. So, to get his books published and keep his Stan Lee and all those guys employed, he struck a deal with DC Comics, and DC Comics gave him so many slots per month in their array of stuff. So that was like a 10-year deal. And in 1968, Marvel had become super popular over the preceding 5 years, but still could only distribute so many books per month. And when that deal ended, that's when you got a real Marvel explosion in 1968. All those guys who were splitting books in Tales of Suspense and Tales to Astonish, and doing backup stories, got their own book. So in Tales of Suspense and Tales to Astonish, Iron Man got his own book, Submariner got his own book, and Captain America took over the numbering of Tales to Suspense, and Tales to Astonish, Hulk took over the numbering. And there was the storyline continues from those books and into Iron Man #1, but there was a book in between, a half step that everybody keeps forgetting about. This one-shot special predates Iron Man #1 and Submariner #1. And it leads into those books. And while this book is not crazy expensive like Iron Man, I can only chalk up to the fact that Iron Man has an iconic cover. But this beautiful VF Plus cover of Iron Man Submariner #1, what month is that from in September? It's probably July or June or July.
It says April on that? You mean for this?
What does it say on that blue?
Let's see what it says. March.
Oh, it says
Marvel,
8.
wait a minute. Gene Colan. Does it 4? Yeah, April 1968.
April 1968. So that they would have had to been working on this in January and had it scheduled. Because if it has,
Tales to Astonish 101 and Tales of Suspense 99.
Right. So if it has an April date on it, that means it went on the stands in January or February, right around in there. So wow. So $450 for this beautiful VF Plus copy, or $400 if you score it here now. Make yourself a deal. So one day people are going to discover how awesome this book is, and you'll be very happy. Say, oh yeah, Keith told me about that many years ago, and I wrecked shop with it. There we go.
Say that again.
Hey kids. All right, there we go. There's our show for tonight. Be on the lookout. If we get a chance to get back to the warehouse, we're going to try to do a show at least, what is today, Thursday? We'll see if we can't sneak out another show tomorrow, and maybe even one Saturday. And who knows, maybe a specialty show. Is anybody interested in variants, like cheap ratio variants? Because I can put together one of those shows pretty regularly. If we have lots of fans for that, maybe we could put together just variants for some show. All right. Cindy's been with me here as always.
I have.
I am Keith from Keith's Comics. I'm so glad that you decided to come by, and thanks for hanging